A Chicago landlord can't evict a violent tenant who is a violent criminal even after a shooting took place in her property. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's going over the fate of a landlord in the city of Chicago. Chicago is one of those places, it's like an island of progressiveness in the Midwest where a lot of the cities there, or a lot of the states at least, aren't very progressive. So they have a lot stronger eviction protections than places, around the same area. But in this case, right, we have a squatter sitting in this lady's property and she just can't evict this person, even though when they did a background check on him, he's a violent criminal. This guy has never paid rent to her. She inherited this property from her mother who passed away. And, it's absolutely awful that this guy is taking advantage of the situation so that he can live somewhere for free. And guess what? He was involved in a shooting inside of this unit. So yeah, this guy's a complete dirtbag criminal, and it's awful that this landlord got stuck with this guy and can't get rid of him due to all the bureaucracy and the stupid laws within the city of Chicago. So yeah, I mean, this is a horrible type of situation to be in. But before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, okay? Do you think that there should be some sort of provision in the law that allows you to remove a tenant who, is a criminal squatter, especially one who doesn't have a lease? There's no proof or evidence that he ever had a lease and that he didn't just break in the house. I mean, I've told you about, I believe it was Florida, where there is a provision in their law that allows for the removal of this sort of person for trespassing. But there's so many states where you have to go through the civil eviction process, and it's awful. It's slow, and it can take 6, 7, 8 months in some cases, and in this case in particular. So yeah, it's absolutely awful. But in my opinion, there should be some sort of provision to get these people out of the property through the criminal law system and not through the civil eviction process. Oh man, what a bad situation. So this article actually has a video that goes with it. So let's watch that video right now.
Reclaim what she says is hers.
My mother owned the property.
For more than 3 decades, this Chatham 2-flat is where Darthula Young's mother called home. She died last year, and the property now belongs to Young and her siblings.
On September 23rd, I got a call from the neighbors to say there had been a shooting in the building. And when I went to the building and put my key in, it didn't work.
The locks had been changed. A bullet hole now marks the front glass window.
The person who had been shot in the apartment, this guy named Taquito Murray, came back from the hospital and informed us and the police that he now lived there, that he had rights, he was a professional squatter.
Young has called police, who told her to go through the courts. She hired an attorney and has been trying to eject Taquito Murray from her mother's home since September.
All right, you saw the video, and now let's get into the article. So this article is coming from CBSNews.com, CBS Chicago, and it says, Chicago woman says squatter has taken over 2-flat she owns, and she can't get him out. And by 2-flat, that's the terminology they use in Chicago for a duplex. So let's get into the article and see what it says. A squatter has taken over a home in the city's Chatham neighborhood, and despite efforts from the homeowner to kick him out, he's still there. Kicking out strangers is a lengthy and expensive process. CBS 2's Charlie DeMar sat down with a woman who has been fighting since last year to reclaim what she says is hers. For more than 3 decades, a 2-flat on Vernon Avenue near 80th Street in Chatham is where Darthula Young's mother called home. Her mother, who owned the property, died last year. The property now belongs to Young and her siblings. So yeah, sounds like accidental landlord situation right here. She didn't actually own the place. Her mom owned the place, and she ended up inheriting it after her mother passed away. And unfortunately, she inherited this squatter as well. On September 23rd, I got a call from the neighbors to say there's been a shooting in the building. And when I went to the building and put my key in, it didn't work, Young said. The locks on the building had been changed. A bullet hole now marred the front glass window. The person who had been shot in the apartment, this guy named Taquito Murray, came back from the hospital and informed us and the police that he now lived there and that he had rights. He was a professional squatter, Young said, and a professional criminal. Whatever he got shot for, it wasn't for squatting, okay? This guy's involved in a little bit more serious crimes than that, okay? Now, it's bad enough that he's stealing this lady's house, but he's probably involved in drugs and gangs as well. So, yeah, a bad guy to have up in your place, especially if he knows the law and knows what he can do to drag out the eviction process. Young has called police who told her to go through the courts. She hired an attorney, and she has been trying to evict Murray from her mother's home since September. It's been a nightmare, Young said. Murray has been arrested at least 6 times since 2017 for drug and weapons charges. We went looking for Murray at the Chatham 2 flat Young owns. At first, no one came to the door, but a few minutes later, a woman exited the house and approached our truck. So they went to talk to this guy, right? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have gone and talked to him. Sounds like a dirtbag, sounds like a thug, and I don't deal with dirtbags and thugs, okay? Not without the police right behind me. But, this is a reporter, so I mean, I guess you think you're safe with your camera, but whatever. This guy could flip out on you. Who knows what would happen? But it says here that he was facing drug and weapons charges. Not surprised. Okay, whatever he got shot for probably had to do with that right there. So she's been trying to evict him since September. Okay, it's March right now. So this guy's been sitting in the house for what, 7 months? I mean, you hired a lawyer in September, it's March, and you still haven't got this guy out. That tells you the problem with the eviction courts up in Chicago. That tells you the problem with the bureaucracy within Chicago and exactly why landlords shouldn't want to invest there. But, I understand she inherited this property, okay? But, man, this is a horrible type of situation to be stuck in right now. My suggestion to her and her siblings who now own the property, as soon as you get this guy out of there, fix it up and sell it. Or, find don't fix it up and sell it. Find somebody who's willing to purchase the property in its current condition, get some sort of cash out of it, and just go. It doesn't sound like the place is, the highest end of places. To me, it sounds like it's a hood house that you had no clue what was going on there until it was too late. CBS 2's DeMar asked about Taquito Murray. Murray was on the phone and agreed to talk. Murray, I'm in the process of finding somewhere to stay. You can't just move like that. DeMar, do you know when you're going to get out? Murray, hopefully by the beginning of May or April. Sometime in April. We've been looking. Wow, so only a month or two more? I mean, you've only been staying there for 7 months already. I mean, why not just say, maybe by the end of summer, whatever. This guy is a piece of crap, okay? I can't believe he actually talked to the reporter, but, this is how cocky these guys are, okay? This guy is a professional squatter, a drug, he's got some issues with drugs, whether he's selling drugs, using drugs, whatever, right? This is what this kind of person is doing. And hey, I got no respect for that whatsoever. So, overall, this is a bad situation to be in. Like I said, my suggestion would be to, continue through the civil eviction process and get this guy out of there, get rid of that property. Obviously, you and your siblings aren't 100% aware of everything that's going on at the property. It doesn't sound like it's in great shape if this guy was able to get in there, change the locks without your knowledge and stay. And it doesn't sound like this is the type of business that you guys should be running. Now, I usually tell people, hey, if you're not into real estate, don't become a landlord. Don't become a landlord if you have no interest in it, no interest in making sure these properties are well maintained, making sure that things like this don't happen. So yeah, if this isn't your business, sell it. Get the money, go invest, in the stock market or somewhere safer where you don't have to worry about these sort of problems.